It's been such a pleasure doing this with you. Like,
Likewise.
so fun. And I'm a little sad, but it's going to be a great new chapter.
Yes. Stay tuned. So you'll see updates from us. You'll still see us around.
Welcome to the Coast Podcast. I'm Emily, a virtual assistant agency owner who left Amazon in 2019 to build my dream.
And I'm Whitney, a freelance writer and communications consultant who never felt at home in a cube farm.
We wanted to learn from people who paved their own ways like we did. So we created this podcast to talk to others who were brave enough to pick a different path. Creatives, entrepreneurs, people doing their careers and their lives their way.
Join us as we make new friends, get inspired, and show you beautiful paths less traveled.
Not every road leads to the coast, but the ones that do come with a great view.
Three years. I've been saying 2, but it's been 3 that we've been doing this.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
And it was July of 2021.
It was like my anniversary. I think it was July 22nd that we had our first episode. So that's next Monday.
Yeah. And we are recording this like a week before that 3-year anniversary. It feels right. It feels right to sunset the coast as it is right now.
Yeah.
We've been having this conversation for months. It's not a rash decision. We've been telling the audience who they gave us 5,000 plays. That was really nice to give us.
That was so cool. And we're not breaking up.
No. And the reason we're doing these mini episodes too is that I strong-armed Emily into doing them because I wanted that sparkler of 100 episodes before the coast as it is now morphs into something different, which I think for me will be more mini episodes. So I'm going to keep talking and figuring out what I want the podcast to look like. It'll be very low lift, very small footprint comparatively. The occasional interview, the occasional Emily coming on to talk.
I'll talk. I'm good at talking.
But I'm going to fold it under my new press, which is R West, and have it more be like campfire stories of fascinating people from the West. And whether they have a book in them or not, that's irrelevant. It's more of having conversations with creatives, artists, very similar, but a little bit fewer episodes and shorter episodes probably. If it's just me, obviously, I can talk for an hour. We know I can talk
you
for an
totally
hour.
can.
But I'm not going to do that. And maybe one interview a month. So stay tuned. We're in the process of that. It'll be fall at some point that I take it under a new name, but this has been such a beautiful thing for us to take on. We've learned a lot.
We've made so many friends.
Yeah, we've really grown our community in a way that like became IRL, which was our goal. Like one of the biggest reasons, at least from my perspective, that we're sunsetting now, and I like the term sunset for this, is that we accomplished our goals.
We did. And I feel good about it. It's not that it was, and okay, let's just be really real. Podcasting is an expensive hobby.
Yes.
If you want to do it right, you can definitely record on Zoom and talk and not edit and whatever, but it's a lot of money.
Yeah.
We pay an amazing editor. She's so great.
Does our show notes too. Yeah, she does way more than edit. And
now's like a good time to shout her out to the rooftops. If you need a podcast manager, editor, show notes person, she is amazing.
Yeah.
And her Lizzie Jane Co.
Yeah, look up Lizzie Jane Co.
And we'll link her in.
She'll link herself in
she'll link herself. Yeah, she is so great, and she's been so easy to work with, and just great at what she does. And but paying an editor, like, is it worth it? Yes, 100%. But it's that plus the recording software, which we had to try so many different versions of, and none of them were as great. We like Zoom the best, honestly.
Yeah, which we already pay for.
And
lots
then
of learning along the way.
Buzzsprout, like hosting, and then we actually pay right now for that automation to upload every episode to YouTube, and then we have a thing that you upload the audio to this other software that gives you like transcripts and then, all this other website. So there's a lot of things that go into it every month, which is, it is what it is. We did it for 3 years, right? So, but I think being able to allot that time and energy and money into these other things that we're doing, like you with the publishing house, me potentially coaching more, which has been, I've wavered back and forth on that, but I think I really am going to do that because I really want to help women build their businesses. So yeah, it's going to be good to have the time back. Although this wasn't like, it's not a huge time suck.
Yeah, the recording part isn't the hard part. It's the financial investment, the marketing, the ongoing scheduling. Even if it's somewhat automated, it's like another inbox to manage.
Right.
And so it's a good time for us to do something different. And that's why doing it in a smaller capacity makes sense for me, because from the beginning, Emilie presented the idea to me and I was like, yes, because I just want to have conversations with interesting people. And some of it became business opportunities, but for the most part, I don't know if we were unclear on that goal, but the goal became creating community. Once we accomplished that and just feel so good with the people surrounding us and the way that we're able to continually impact people, the more it's felt like we've accomplished that goal. And we can always expand our networks, but we don't necessarily want to do that through this tool. Or through this mechanism. So we've really appreciated everybody who's listened. We appreciate each other so much. It's been such a cool way to really, I don't know if I even considered how vulnerable it would make me feel to just speak into the ether, because I had a little freak out right before. And I'm a person I'm a complete open book. Nothing is going to be weird. But then I was like, but do I want this on the internet forever? And
there's some things I've said that I'm like,
yeah. So there was a little bit of that. And it's not, I don't know how to describe it. Like, it's this, for a highly vulnerable person, it's maybe a fear of public vulnerability.
I get that.
And yeah, I didn't feel impostery, really. I just felt do I want everyone to know this or have access to this part of my soul?
For me, I think like when I get really famous, are they going to pull these podcast episodes and be like, she said this?
Yeah, maybe. The people on the internet, they have their ways. And I do feel like for both of us too, it's helped us become so much more comfortable using our voices and being comfortable on camera and just speaking thoughtfully.
Do you remember the first time you were on a podcast and you were so nervous? And we see it all the time because we do a lot of first podcast interviews for our guests. Now I can just talk and have a really normal conversation. We've learned really good things, muting when we're not talking and pausing intentionally so that it could be edited out really well. Like we've learned all these tricks, and I feel like I'm really comfortable talking with people like this, and I can go podcast guest on any podcast now and feel like comfortable and not super scared. And it's actually helped me practice my public speaking so much too. And you too, like we're all, we can talk about a given topic. We can talk about advice we're giving people. And I think
it's for sales.
Yeah.
It's helped me at least a little bit in the sales process of just managing conversations. And like you said, those pauses and preparing what I want to say, and a little bit, not necessarily a script, but a summary of a script that I would want to use to move a conversation forward and ask smart questions. So I'm so grateful to our guests and the community that we've built and that we continue to benefit from in so many ways, just through the genuine connections that we've made. So it really isn't, it's really just a sunsetting of this one little output, but our connections haven't gone anywhere. Our connection with each other hasn't gone anywhere. And our ultimate goal in the future is to be these like badass female angel investors. So we got to get heads down on working on our other projects so that we can do that.
A really fun way to end this. We should rapid fire each other.
Ooh, okay. Let me see if I like made everything small.
Love it. I have it up.
Okay.
I just got it up.
Nice. That's what he said.
Okay, this is really good. We never asked each other these. So, what are you proudest of in your business right now?
I'm proudest that I had this vision of doing two things and doing two things well, and I didn't let anybody deter me from them, and I executed on that vision, and I'm feeling really clear and good about that. What are you proudest of in your business right now?
That we're growing consistently and it feels easy to grow.
I keep telling myself that too. Let it be easy. Let it be easy. It doesn't have to be hard.
Mm-hmm. And I'm not doing all these like masculine energy, like pushing out stuff. Like I made the decision to be magnetic and attract aligned clients, and I am. So that's feeling really good.
I love that. You decided to be magnetic. Fuck yeah.
I decided. Tell us about a book you read or a podcast you listened to that recently changed the way you're thinking about your life or your business.
I am finishing a novel right now it's really great, but it's not the answer to this question. I do a lot of novels in the summer, and it's a library thing, so I am on deadline. But the book I paused in order to read the novel is one of Wayne Dyer's books, and he's one of my favorite gurus. He's dead now, but he's a big Hay House person, and it's called You'll See It When You Believe It. And it's really all about that kind of manifestation stuff. And he just does that so well, of essentially holding the picture in your brain before you see it in front of you. It's essentially a 200-word ode to faith in a pretty metaphysical, spiritual way. And that type of stuff always gets me into the vortex and thinking about my life and my business in those ways of dreaming big and believing that that's possible. Because I think one of the things that I always did was dream big, and then I would talk myself out of my dreams. And people like Wayne tell me to keep being delusional. Go after Barnes and Noble. Which is not
delusional. You made it happen.
Yeah, and that one's not, and that's not even that delusional.
But it's a big dream, and it came true. And
yeah,
because you made it happen. I think it's really great. I'm excited for you. And Delulu is a Salulu, right?
Yes. Yeah, it is. And Wayne's like the OG on that. What about you?
I can't say that I've read a book or listened to a podcast that changed anything lately for me. Not lately. I mean, that psychic development book I read, which I've read a ton of, that was interesting in the way that it talked a lot about visualization. And so meditation is always hard for me, but visualizing that has been cool. So I guess that one, but I've kind of taken a break I was really into like self-help in business. And I've been listening for fun lately. And so that's been really fun too. I just finished today, Apples Never Fall, I think.
That's something that we've been talking about a lot too, just in externalizing our decisions. And part of that psychic book that's so helpful is that it takes you back to yourself. And I think both of our success lately has been through that soul work of not externalizing so much and checking in, whether you have a practice or not. It's really what feels good to me. And fuck all the noise.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Really turning back to yourself for every single thing. Does this feel good? Does this not feel good? And following that. I love it. I think it's great. What would your last meal be? I don't know if this has changed for me.
I want the table at Hook of all my favorite things. Sushi, very hole in the wall tacos, like Korean barbecue, Roz's wings. Like I couldn't just have, it would have to be a huge spread. Nectarines, that's my favorite fruit. I just want to, I'm like a
grazer.
I need to graze across this big epic table. I'm going to die anyway.
Yeah, I think
cookie from Met Market.
Oh, the cookie. That's my favorite cookie. But I think mine would be similar to just not giant, but pieces of things that I love, but also shellfish. And I'm maybe just saying this because I'm going to the East Coast and we have great seafood here. They have great seafood there though, and it's different. And also the bread there is just, I could take or leave bread here. The bread there on the East Coast is different.
Also your GF.
I am, but not now. Not when I go to
on the
New
East
Jersey.
Coast.
And I think scientifically it's the water that's different there. And so the bread's different, but I could be GF here. I could not be GF there.
They also have epic delis with amazing pickles.
Oh, yeah. And the lunch meat there, like salami and amazing. Yeah. Anyway, I'm so excited to go eat a bagel. I'm so excited to go eat just pizza. Oh my God, the pizza. Anyway, so excited. But shellfish. I love shellfish. Best business purchase in the last 6 months, under $100.
First thing that comes to mind for me is upgrading my bonsai account. It cost me an extra $49 and something cents to move me into subcontractor mode and gave me access to a bunch. And that's for the rest of the year. So it's like a couple more bucks per month for me to be able to manage my team through the same system.
Do you have to pay for them as users?
Unlimited users.
Oh, because I was just looking at it. I was like, oh, if I have to pay $10 per user, that's a lot of people. But I'll have to check that out. Interesting. For me, I literally don't know because under $100 is like really hard because nothing costs under $100 for me. I don't know.
Your headset to record with me, $21.
This is definitely not in the last 6 months, was it?
I don't know. We might have had them for like a year.
Oh, this is dumb, but it's valid. So if you don't know, I have my office shed in the backyard. Billy built me a beautiful shed. It's colored ridiculous colors because I'm ridiculous and it's wonderful. And I bring my laptop in. So I have like my giant monitor here, my laptop docking station, and then I just bring it inside at night because I don't want it stolen, whatever. But I was having to bring my charger back and forth and undock and stuff. And then I just bought a charger to keep inside, and that really changed everything. It's so stupid, but it's efficient. Yeah.
No, if I had to remember that every day, it would be so annoying.
Yeah. And then going back out to the shed, which is like what, 20? It's not a long way, but it's anyway, it was good. What's lighting you up lately?
This will air after I get back, but I want to say it anyway, which is going to my trip. Is a writers conference in Sun Valley, Idaho, and it's the biggest investment.
And you had to work so hard to get those tickets.
Yeah.
You had to be like online refreshing.
Yeah. Double browsers.
Sold out.
Banning myself with credit cards.
Yeah.
It's the biggest investment I've made in my creative art and creative business. And so I am channeling magic happening. And I hope I can listen to this back and be like, yeah, it was fucking magical because I decided that it would be. And I met like the coolest people. And even beyond that, just it's lighting me up that I'm investing in myself in these big and vulnerable ways that I wasn't ready to do until this year.
Yep. I'm excited for you.
What's lighting you up?
That's a hard question for me right now. There's a lot of dark in my world right now. But I guess what's lighting me up is the fact that I'm not consumed by it.
Yeah.
And
that's major.
It is major. And my therapist said she's proud of me because she's Emilie, even last year, you would not be in the place to be handling this as well as you are right now. She's it's not that you're not anxious. It's not that you're not like getting a little depressed by this stuff, but she's like, you're using all the tools and you're snapping out of it. And you're saying like, I actually was driving and I am a very anxious person, right? Or how do I rephrase that? I learned a lot of my life to be a very anxious person. And I'm learning a lot of the skills necessary to counteract that anxiety. But typically before I would be driving. Driving is like a really anxious thing for me. When I don't like it, it allows my mind to just go crazy. And I was just thinking just terrible things. You think, what if I get in a car accident? And then what if I'm seriously injured? And then what color ambulance would pick me up? And then what if I die? And then who would come to my funeral? And then and that's just like the spiral. And I literally caught myself doing it. And I said out loud, loudly, I said, stop.
Good.
And then I stopped. But
a lot of that has to be out loud. And we get weird about that. Even talking to ourselves, talking to angels, any of it. We get embarrassed even by ourselves in our own cars. So it's so awesome that you said stop.
I yelled at myself. I'm like, Emilie, stop. We are going to choose to focus on happy thoughts right now. Change the music. But I'm just really proud of myself because with all the darkness, like I'm not consumed by it. Like it's there, but I'm able to eclipse it with my light, my own personal. And I've been doing a lot of visualization too, because if you're in the darkness, I don't know if you ever do this, but I put myself like in a protective bubble and then I picture like light emanating out from me and like the circles like light all around me. And so
love that
helps me a lot. Anyway, I'm lit up by the fact that I'm not completely dark.
Yes. It's a big deal.
This is sad, like the last question, but what is the one life experience you think everyone should have?
This is a very right now response. And I think I would probably say it again. And that is seeing a creative project through, whether that is for you or for the world. Because me seeing through that little booklet and all the things that I'm doing with it now, just the act of creation of that thing that isn't, it could be anything, but whether it's like a beautiful painting that you hang in your home or what I wrote and am working on giving to people and having it serve people in bigger ways. It's really serving me. But I think we get embarrassed about like our cute little kid hobbies and that they can't do anything for us. You see the rainbow coming through my office right now. But the act of creating it and believing in it and then having it be something I could hold in my hands, whatever I chose to do something and try to make it be something in the world, but I didn't have to. Investing in yourself and your creativity that way is a really amazing exercise in getting to know yourself and get in that flow, like you've mentioned in previous episodes too, and finding some play along with it. Because a lot of like, when I ask this question, what I'm thinking usually is somebody will say something like, have a child or go through something hard or whatever. But for me, probably one of the most life-altering things I've done that stretched me in really big and beautiful and scary ways is doing something creatively and seeing it through end to end, like being able to hold it in my hands. What's your answer?
I was going to say first seeing you like do that have an idea, execute on it, and then put it out into the world has been so inspiring to me because I can't wait to do that too. And just seeing you like go talk to people and seeing the impact it's making, it's so cool. So yeah, you're very inspiring to me.
Okay, also when you when you were standing there and at this small independent bookshop in Shoreline that I'm obsessed with and going to email her again, and I was like feeling so neurotic about it for various reasons. I was like, oh, Emily like really pushed me out of my comfort zone there, and it was extremely necessary, and I tried to give back to them by writing about it on Threads, and then all these people were eating it up and they're gonna go visit her shop because I like just felt so I felt like I mishandled that in the sense that I was like a little more anxious than I wanted to be and wasn't like buttoned up on my pitch, and she was so kind.
She was so great.
You don't have to be perfect at this thing. Like whatever your goal is with it or whatever your goal becomes, even if it's nothing, but if it is to go out and try to make something of it and help people, then go easy on yourself and how that comes together, because just like anything, the right places will present. And I was thinking about that a lot with regard to like Barnes and Noble of cool, I want to do one reading at the Olympia Barnes and Noble because that would just make my whole like inner children just go fucking nuts. But that's like enough for me. This particular project isn't necessarily meant to just be like going around the country doing Barnes and Nobles. It's really more about like the small, like hand to hand connection, which you find more in smaller bookshops and gift shops and flower shops and even hospice centers. Like I want to be there, and Barnes and Noble is great. It's more of like a cherry on top.
Mm-hmm.
But having that connection with her and her just being so kind and being like, yeah, we'll put it right next to the register. Come sign up on your consignment paperwork whenever you're ready. I was just like, Barnes and Noble would never do this for me. It's like those connections that we've been building through this thing of that we're going to continue to build through various things in the future. Mm-hmm. Just a cool reminder.
I'm sorry, this is unrelated. It's related, but not. You should put them in hospital waiting rooms. Just go.
Mm-hmm.
Not like the ER, but ICU waiting rooms would be very great.
Yeah.
Life experience, I think everyone should have. I think, I don't know how to word this, but like having an idea that you think you can't do because somebody else told you that you couldn't, or that it had to be done another way, and figuring out how to make it happen. So when I think of that, literally, sorry, you can't work from home.
Yep.
And then just creating a thing where I could. And then a pandemic happening that was like, yes, we can. And then the whole world changed. So I guess going against mainstream thoughts to be true to yourself, whatever that means to you. For me, it was like, no, you don't have a business like you don't even have a college degree. You can't build a successful business. Yes, I can. Yes, I can.
And it's so much harder said than done.
Totally. But it's been one of the most rewarding and validating experiences in my life.
Yeah. And that makes me like so proud of you too. I hope when you're saying your therapist is proud of you and I'm saying I'm proud of you, I hope like you take a minute to say to yourself sometimes, hopefully all the time, that you're proud of yourself, because it's a big fucking deal. The shit that you've done. And it is over and over and over. And every day you're pushing yourself to do it bigger and better. And say, no, thank you for sharing, but I don't want to be you. So I'm going to do what I think is right and listen to the sources if I choose to listen to any of people who are doing the thing that I want to do versus your well-intentioned noise.
And that's why I think I don't have, it's interesting because there's so many like gurus out there in regards to like business and like, who's your idol? I'm like,
me.
Me? But listening to yourself and, oh, that's a good idea. How can I implement that in a way that makes sense for me?
Mm-hmm.
Even just like going back to like, you have to post on social media 3 times a day. Okay. I tried it. It felt gross.
Yeah.
And we're done. So anyway, go. I guess to summarize, what's one life experience everyone should have is really be true to yourself and listen to your own intuition.
Consistently.
Yep.
That's a muscle and a practice too. And I just looked out the window and this, I think it's a work van, but it says no streaking allowed. And I got really distracted. But yeah. And look for like signs that validate the thing. I don't know what that is a sign of. It's just keep the humor for me. But you can learn to check in with yourself and like hone like your intuition, especially as a business owner and as a human, because you'll know. And even like people who I have a coaching call in 30 minutes, and people who do coaching calls with us, like are psychics. It's always, you're just looking for validation of what you already know, especially women who we're very tapped into that. We can train ourselves out of it. I've done it. I've watched so many people do it, but I think we're in these really cool places in our lives where we are holding each other accountable to like being tapped in, which is really a safe place for us.
Mm-hmm. It's been such a pleasure doing this with you. Like,
likewise.
So fun. And I'm a little sad, but it's going to be a great new chapter.
Yes. Stay tuned. So you'll see updates from us. You'll see these episodes go out over the next month, and you'll still see us around. So stay in touch. You know where to find us. Check the show notes. Give us a review.
All right. Bye.
And we
love you.
We will see you on the
One
lines.
day. One day. Yes. Okay. Bye.
Bye-bye.